Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Once again, welcome to another interesting episode of Mathematics class. So today, we're going to continue with the concept of trigonometry, trying to resolve more challenges or more difficult challenges on the concept of trigonometry. Remember that trigonometry, all it does with is just purely triangles and its resolution. So, right before me is another interesting question on the board. Well, the unique thing about this question is that you need to interpret it into a diagrammatical form. For you to really understand what the question is all about before you can think of solving it. So the question says, a ladder 7.5 meter long rests against a wall. The bottom of the ladder is 2.1 meter from the wall. The question now says, calculate how far the ladder reaches up the wall. Let me read again. A ladder 7.5 meter long rests against a wall. The bottom of the ladder is 2.1 meter from the wall. Calculate how far the ladder reaches up the wall. So the first thing you're going to do is to translate this expression, in other words, English expression, into a mathematical diagram or a diagrammatical form. So let's just try to picture have the image of a ladder resting on the wall. Now let's take this for instance, that this is the wall, and then a ladder definitely is going to rest on it this way. A ladder, let me just take a little coloring of this. A ladder is resting on a wall. This is a ladder resting on a wall, resting on a vertical wall. So if this is the wall and this is the ladder, now it was said a ladder of 7.5 meter. In other words, this ladder is going to be 7.5 meter. The bottom of the ladder is 2.1 meter. The bottom of this ladder is 2.1 meter from the wall. (2.1 meter from the wall). Calculate how far the ladder reaches up the wall. How far this very ladder reaches up the wall. So, having translated this expression into a diagrammatical form, then this is what we finally had. A ladder resting against a vertical wall. We have the longest side being 7.5 meter, and we have the base or the adjacent to be 2.1 meter. Let's assume that this is the angle. Taking a close look at this triangle you have just drawn, you will discover that this is a right angle triangle because a sort of horizontal line is actually meeting with a vertical line. So this is right angle triangle. So what comes to your mind as the solution to it is going to be the law or the theorem instead called Pythagoras theorem once again. Pythagoras theorem is saying that the square of the longest side of a triangle, which is 7.5 meter square, is equal to the opposite in this case is going to be the height here, which is the height of the vertical wall, being h square plus the base of the triangle, in other words, the adjacent, which is 2.1 meter. I'm going to do without the unit for now, but when we're done, make sure you endeavor to place the units. So if you square, this is square. So if you square 7.5 square using your calculator or using your hand, you're going to be having 56.25. Then equal to this is h squared plus 4.41. So you're going to collect like term. This is a number and this is another number on my right hand side. So this one will come over to join it. In other words, we're collecting like terms. If we collect like terms, we're going to be having 56.25 equal to, no, this plus crossing over becomes minus 4.41 equal to my h squared on the right. So if you subtract this from this, you're going to be having 51.84. Subtract 56.25. No, subtract 4.41 from 56.25. So if you do that, you're going to have 51.84 equal to h squared. So let me bring h squared to my left hand side and then 51.84 to my right hand side. So if you take the square, the square of h implies the square root of my right hand side, meaning the square root of 51.84. If you take the square root of 51.84, you're going to be having, so if you take the square root of 51.84, you're going to be having 7, you're going to be having, if you take the square root of 51.84, you're going to be having h is equal to 7.2 meter. Thank you very much. See you over in our next class, being episode 5, where we're going to finalize the concept of trigonometry. I really appreciate kindly like my video, share, and follow. Thank you very much.